Good afternoon. This is the buy sell short popper scan video for this upcoming Monday. First off, we have BNX Banks.com, a stock that we really traded poorly over the last month. But on a positive note, on the popper scan for the first time in over a month, nice bottomed out chart here and looks ready to rumble again. This is one we started adding in the chat room on Friday. We've got a breakout at 22 cents, and our target on the bounce is the 50-day moving average at 27 and the 200-day moving average at 30 cents. RSI breaking up through 50, positive MACD cross. Stochastics has broken that downtrend line and about to break up through the 50 level. So this upcoming week could be a very nice week for BNX. We've started to see some of the Amex bios or Amex penny stocks and penny stocks in general start to wake up. These guys are expected to report a profit of $600,000 to $800,000 for this coming quarter when they report in May. And that report last year caused a nice little pop in the price. This is one that we can definitely look to average down here and get out with a small profit when it does bounce back over the next few days. Next up, we've got mRNA biotech stock. Possible bottom here. Breakout 56 cents. Target 67 cents. Stops, I would place stops probably 53 cents if I jumped in on a 56-cent break. RXII. I know some of you guys played this one in the chat room on Friday. It was getting pushed by a few different newsletters late on Friday. I hate this stock. I just have a bias towards it. It never really runs for me. I've become a bag holder in this stock too many times. But it's on the pop scan. It could get a nice little run on a break of $1. We could see a snapback to the 20-day exponential up there at 116. All the indicators are nicely oversold, and definitely one, if you're so inclined, that you could jump into this one on a $1 break. Or if you want to risk it, you can jump in 92, 93 cents and place your stops at the previous low on Wednesday or on Tuesday at 88 cents. TGC, oil play. Oil plays have really been sleeping this week despite the move in oil prices, but a break of 105 on TGC. And we could see a pretty quick spike to the 115 to 120 plus area, so a possible 10 to 15% upside with stops at 1. RSI trying to break 50. Stochastics has broken up through 20, so that looks good on that. And we've got a possible MACD cross sometime next week. So not a whole lot of oil plays I would play right now. TGC and another one that's on the scanner, RAME, are two that I would play. RAME, especially if oil prices start to move and it gets that positive MACD cross, could see a move to 220 next week on continued upside. RAD, Rite Aid, 105 breakout, 115 scalp target, stops 102, pretty straightforward. Nice potential chart mover. ANDS, this is a biotech stock we've tried a few times. Can be a frustrating play. Every time it moves, sellers come in. But if it gets enough volume, it could see a move back up to 125 to 130. So definitely one you can keep an eye on, especially if biotech stocks continue to move. This one will inevitably get pushed. Now, an interesting stock that I haven't looked at in years, BHH. Internet B2B holders. It's an ETF. Essentially, it owns two stocks. 90% of it is ARBA, Ariba, and the other 10%, I believe, is ICGE. Back in the dot-com days, these were giants. They own pieces of other internet companies. Looking at the chart here, we've got a possible breakout at 121 that could see a move back to that $1.35 area. 10% upside. RSI trying to break out, pending MACD cross, stochastics nicely bottom. So a cheap way to play a move in ARBA or ICGE. So an interesting one I actually haven't looked at in quite a number of years. APP has been a monster for the pop scan. Look at this move from 75 cents last week up to $1.30. If you played this one on every popper video, you're sitting on a nice gain. next move could really, it would be nice to see it pull back, but what it actually looks like it's doing, and we're starting to see this on some of the pop scan plays, ZLCS, same sort of thing, ran, almost 50% over the course of a week. So these are the kind of pop scan plays, when they start going on multi-day moves, the last couple of days can be very, very attractive. GSAT, satellite player, 125 break, could see a move back to $1.40 on this one near term. One we haven't played in a while, ZBB, 132 breakout, 145 scalp target, stops probably $1.25. Has been pretty stable here and looking for an excuse to move. So, we might start to see the alternative energy stocks wake up as oil prices continue to move higher. CYTK, annoying, frustrating stock that did financing, but it's recovered nicely after that financing. And, even though it's on my ban list, a break of 160 could give a scalp up for those inclined to play it. DYAX, very, very close. We've got a nice little flag formation on this one. 171 could be a scalp add, or add any dips to the 20-day exponential. And, this one could be coiling for a move to $2 very, very soon. ASTI, I actually wish I had found this chart 2 days ago. Positive MACD cross, stochastics coming out of the basement and about to trigger a buy. A nice up move on Friday. If this one pulled back to $1.63 or under on Monday or Tuesday, I would definitely consider jumping into this one for a move to the 20-day exponential at 192. What we may see happen on ASTI, which is a solar play, is sort of similar to what we saw on BWEN. This stock sucked balls for the last 2 months. Every time we tried to play it, it didn't move. And then over the last 5 days, the stock has gone vertical for no reason and no news. Same thing happened on ESLR, another solar player. Same sort of thing, $1.30 to $2, just like that, after never moving more than 10 or 15 cents over the last 6 or 7 months. So we could see the same thing on ASTI. Now, if ASTI does not pull back for an entry, it's not on the pop scan, but WESTD, still waiting for this one to give us a nice little dip to the 150s to jump in. So keep an eye on that one. Speaking of BWEN, it's actually on the pop scan as well. The only reason I mention it is sort of similar to ZLCS and APP, where it just continues to go every single day and looks like it wants to make a run on the 200-day moving average at 193. Now, there's a lot of plays that we are in currently that have come on the popper scanner, and I really like when we jump into plays and then they appear on the popper scanner. Very, very good sign. Mad Catz, like I mentioned in the weekend video, cooking nicely at the 50-day moving average and could be a mover next week. Sirius on the pop scan, we already went over that. OPXA, after that big pop on the data, retraced and is now trying another breakout move. Didn't work on Thursday, but a break at 210 on Monday or Tuesday, would possibly consider jumping into this one for a scalp move. Maybe, a 10 or 15 cent scalp. YRCW has been trying to break out over the last 2 days. Not my favorite stock, not a stock I would take home at night, but if it, again, saw a push through the 210 area, would possibly consider getting into it for a scalp move up to the 50-day moving average at 231. OPWV on the pop scan, but we already went over that one in the weekend newsletter. AEZ or AEZS, biotech stock, I hate to say it, same sort of move as ZLCS and APP. Not one I would jump into right now, but if it continued to move, would help bring further moves in some of the other biotech stocks. BIOD, we played this one a week ago. It's consolidating nicely here at the 50-day moving average. I would possibly consider picking this one up around 215, 220, especially if we continue to see the biotechs move for a 10% move. It's been pretty stable. really over the last couple of months. So this one could be coiling for another move over the next few days. ACAD, we already went over this on the pop scan. ACLS, same thing. We went over it on the pop or on the weekend newsletter. OPXT, we also went over this. So as you can see, we've got a lot of plays that we're currently in that are now jumping onto the pop scan. I love seeing that. Last but not least, we got to go in with a gold play. There's a couple of gold plays on the pop scan, but this is the one that jumps out the most. GBG, 263 breakout, 275 to 280 target. RSI trying to break up through 50. We've got stochastics coming up through 20, which is what we like to see. So, for you gold bugs, this is a potential mover Monday or Tuesday now that it's on the pop scan. And it's one that likes to, go on 10, 15, 20 cent pops and then retrace. So definitely one, if you jump into it, you jump out pretty quick. So that's it for the pop scan video. See you guys on Monday.